All right, let's talk about one of the biggest and, frankly, most annoying problems in artificial intelligence, the forgetful AI. Today, we're going to dive into the tech that finally gives our AI agents the one thing they've been desperately missing, a memory.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll get into why AIs have this memory problem in the first place. Then we'll introduce the solution that's changing the game. We'll break down exactly how this memory works, cover the key benefits, the why you should care part, and finally, we'll see it all in action with some awesome real-world examples.
Okay, first things first, let's tackle the core problem. I mean, if an AI is going to be a useful assistant, it has to remember what we've talked about, right? The reason they so often fail at this comes down to a fundamental concept in computing called statelessness.
I think we've all been there, right? You're chatting with a support bot, and with every single question, it feels like you're starting completely over. You explain your problem, and then 2 messages later, it's asking for your account number. Again, that feeling of frustration, that's a direct symptom of this core issue. And the technical term for this whole headache is statelessness. It basically means the AI has zero persistent memory. It treats everything you say as a brand new, isolated event, completely disconnected from what came before. And that's exactly what makes those conversations feel so clunky and honestly pretty dumb.
But what if we could actually solve that? This brings us to the really exciting part, a breakthrough technology designed from the ground up to fix this exact problem of the forgetful AI.
Meet AgentCore Memory from Amazon Bedrock. You can think of it as a plug-and-play memory module for an AI agent. It's a powerful service that gives the agent the ability to actually remember what you've said, building a real, coherent understanding of you and what you need over time. So how does this actually work under the hood? Well, it's not just one big bucket of information. It's actually a really clever combination of 2 different kinds of memory that work together to create a smooth, intelligent experience. On one side, you've got short-term memory. This is all about what's happening right now in this specific conversation. It's the context of the moment. On the other side, you have long-term memory, which is all about building up persistent knowledge about you across many different conversations. It's kind of like the difference between RAM and a hard drive for the AI's brain. Let's look at some examples. Okay, this is a perfect example of short-term memory in action. You ask, what's the weather in Seattle? Then your next question is just, what about tomorrow? Now, a stateless AI would have no clue what you're talking about, but an agent with short-term memory, it knows tomorrow obviously refers to the context it just got, Seattle. It's simple, but it's absolutely crucial for a natural conversation. And this is where the magic of long-term memory really shines. Let's say you mentioned one time, just once, that you like window seats. The agent squirrels that preference away. It can even be smart enough to notice patterns, like you always tend to book morning flights. So the next time you go to book a trip, it doesn't just wait for you to ask. It proactively says, hey, got a window seat on an early flight for you. This is where AI stops feeling like a tool and starts feeling like a genuine assistant. So we see how it works. But now let's get into the so what? Why does this actually matter? Let's talk about the tangible benefits you get when an agent can finally remember who you are and what you've talked about.
It really boils down to 3 huge wins. First, conversations just feel more natural, more human, because the AI actually gets the context. Second, you get truly personalized experiences that are tailored to your history and your preferences. And third, and this is a big one for the builders out there, it dramatically reduces development complexity. It handles all that heavy lifting of managing memory so developers don't have to.
All right, enough with the theory. Where does this technology really make a difference out in the wild? Let's explore a few common use cases where adding memory completely changes the game.
The most obvious place you'll see this is with conversational agents, like the customer support chatbots we've all dealt with. Instead of making you start from scratch every single time, a bot with memory can pull up your past tickets and preferences to get you to a solution way, way faster. Just imagine a chatbot greeting you with this. Instantly, it shows it knows your history. It saves you the frustration of explaining that old problem all over again. That one little sentence completely changes the entire dynamic of that customer support experience. But it's not just for chatting. This is also critical for agents that manage complex multi-step tasks. Think about a business process, like approving an invoice. Memory lets the agent act like a project manager. It keeps track of every single step, who has it, what the status is, what needs to happen next, and it keeps that whole workflow moving, sometimes over days or even weeks. And now for something really cool. What happens when you have a whole team of AI agents working together? Well, they can use a shared memory to stay coordinated. So if you look here, the supply chain agent, Agent A, can update the inventory levels. Instantly, Agent B, the logistics agent, sees that change and can use that new information to optimize shipping routes. They're working in perfect sync, all because they share a brain.
So, as we've seen, giving an AI a memory is what elevates it from being just a simple tool to becoming a true collaborative partner. It makes our conversations feel natural, our experiences feel personal, and it makes complex tasks feel manageable, which really just leaves us with one fascinating question to think about. When an AI can remember everything, what's the next step in creating truly intelligent conversations?